All right, guys, so I'm wiring in my fuel pump, and something that I like to do prior to firing up any electronic, because I'm going through a relay, I'm doing everything that you're supposed to, but an easy way to check your work, right? So I got my my wiring done. There's my relay, the brown wires to the switch, that red wire there without any casing, and by casing I mean the loom. You can see there's another red wire with a loom. The one with the loom goes back to the fuel pump. The one without the loom goes to the battery, which there's a junction right behind this gauge panel. And then we have our ground wire. So I hooked up a test light, got it in place, set to a good ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the battery, flip the switch on, and see if it works before I even hook up the electric fuel pump. That way I know it will work. So this way, if you got a short or something doesn't fail like it should, you don't burn out the pump, and you're not going to run it dry either. So you know that if the pump is good, you're not going to be running that pump dry. I still got to go get fuel to put in the fuel cell because clearly I drained it. So let me grab my flashlight and I'll show you guys what I did. So I still have to clamp back that corrugated plastic, you know, your standard cheapo wire looms. I could have gone with the woven nylon, but that's what the parts store had, and that's what I'm going to use because it's cheap. I came in through the trunk. There's only one small section of exposed wire that doesn't even touch the ground. So a nice little thing that I've begun to do, I don't know if anybody else does this. I can't say that I picked it up anywhere. It was just a thought. I got like some vacuum hose, and since I only have one wire, if you get the right grommets, this vacuum hose fits perfect in there. And the power wire underneath is completely, let me get comfortable down here, is completely protected. So there is absolutely no chances that it's going to get shorted out. And our ground wire is hooked up to the frame. There's a 10mm bolt that holds on both sides, that holds the fuel pump in place, and it was long enough for me to hook that up. So that is a perfect ground on the frame, or at least for me it seems like that would be a really good ground, because chassis grounds are always good. So I'm going to set up the battery, and then I'll flip the switch and show you guys, and hopefully it works. So I'm getting on the tail end here. It's a pretty calm Sunday after yesterday's race day, but we still got work to do. So there is no rest for the wicked, man. We just keep going and going and going and going. So I'll let you go as soon as I get this set. Okay, so I hooked up the battery, and I already flipped it on once, but I didn't have any issues. So you see the test light down there? There's my fuel switch. We got light, it's on. So it works. So now we can give it the blessing, hook it up to our fuel pump, go down the street and get some fresh 93 after pumping out all that 91 out of it, which respectively went into the Bonneville, because I'm thrifty like that. So I'm going to put some fuel in it and prime the system. According to Holly, this regulator has already been preset to 7 psi. We're going to see how close it is or how off my gauges are. Either or. We don't know yet. So we're going to do that and then probably fire it up. And that will be that for this. So I think I am going to swap out the torque converter and put my old one back in. At this point, I'm not really worried about going any faster. After yesterday, I realized that, you know what? I kind of had a bit of an epiphany. The car runs what it runs. It has ran 1180s, which is pretty good for this combination. So either way, I won't ramble on that because that'll be kind of the closing part of this. So we'll get to the point and get this shit done. All right, guys, so I pre-primed the system just now. And actually, I didn't grab my keys, but we're going to try to fire it up. So, remind me which key worked. No, not that one. There we go. So let's turn on fuel. I think this gauge is just a hair off. It's at 4. Maybe that's what our problem was before, but now we got an electric one. And over here, we're a little under 7, which should be fine. We're going to try to fire it up. I didn't even have to pump the gas. I also want to see how much of a draw everything has. We're at 14 volts. Let's turn our AFR on. We only put 3 gallons of gas, so it's still pretty low. But wow, our AFR is better than like a couple days ago. I don't know what the fuck gives, but there's that bog I was telling you guys about after doing the spark plugs. It went to 22.0, but our AFR is really nice. That's not bad. We're gonna walk around the car real fast. No leaks. Water pump, fan, AFR, fuel, ignition. Yes, I still trigger my distributor through a key, so it works. All right, guys, cheers. It's Sunday. I deserved it yesterday. I passed out on the couch without even catching a buzz. So not that that's important, but it's just one of those days where we had a lot of fun. It was tiring, but it was fun. I will flat out say this, JJ is still not happy with the 64. But I get it, we all get that, right? And for me, my approach to that build was literally like, dude, it is what it is. JJ is still not happy. I don't know what he wants to do about it, but the motor seems good. We thought the oil pressure was starting to go away. I think what happened was the transmission was working the motor, and we got an engine diaper on it, so that oil had to be really thinned out and really hot. But either way, we kind of spoke today. He said he's going to get an oil filter cutter for it, cut it apart, see what we see. If it's within, that if it's within spec, we're not going to worry about it. If it's dramatic, then the motor might have to come apart. But that motor's fate has already been pretty much almost figured out which way we're going to go with it. Somebody's going to end up with it, and it's pretty much not going to be me. And either way, I got the fuel pump set up, by far the most professional fuel system I've ever had. My gauge on the cowl is way off. So now I knew my gauge was off a little bit in the past, but I didn't know it was that much. In the past, I had an odometer gauge up on the cowl, and I went to a hold on, what do I got in there? A Quick Car Performance Products fuel pressure gauge on the cowl. I always knew it was off by 1, but compared to my old trusty odometer fuel log gauge that I had been it's been almost everything I've had. It's off. And I flipped them. I thought maybe the fuel log is restricting something between the regulator. No, no, no. I flipped them around and they're off. So you might be asking yourself, was this all for nothing? Not really. Let me explain why. When I flip the switch of the fuel pump, it gets fuel to the carburetor right away. It fires up now without even hitting the gas. I came out here today. My wife, who's the real MVP of this operation, went out and got fuel, and I put 3 gallons of gas in it, primed the fuel system, fired it up, literally on the dime, and this thing has not been fired up since before we even did the fuel stuff. So that's actually really, really good. Usually, I gotta come out here, pump the gas, fire it up, and then I gotta hold it a little bit. No, this time, flip the switch on, turn the car on, idled. Perfect. Which, at idle without dumping any fuel, our AFR is actually up 1 point now. So, again, it's that weather change. Right now, we're all over the place. It's fall. So, I think our plan from here is I got to make some bump stops for my control arms. I want to play with it. Right now, I have 5.5. I want to take 1.5 inches of travel away from the front suspension and see what happens, because even though I have 5.5 inches of travel in the front, I think I can shorten it up a little bit and get the chassis to move out just a little faster. We're going to play with it. Again, things I just want to try. But if I can, I am going to swap out the torque converter for the main reason that, and I talked to JJ about this, it's no harm, no foul, because the torque converter we put in there, really, we saw no gains, no losses. But in the same respect, if there is something going on with my transmission, I don't want to wreck that thing. So I think during the week, I'm going to go for it, and I should have time to swap out the torque converter and go back to my old one, which is right there. And I know that I think I said I was going to take off next week, but my wife can't make it to the track the weekend of the 24th, 25th, which I would love to go out. JJ and I are trying to get together with our cars for a test and tune. So, but I would love to have my wife there for the last go for it. So I think I'm still going to shoot for next week and probably go to the local track on a Saturday, because it's easier on a Saturday because I can unload on Sunday and I don't have to worry about it. I just back up the truck and the trailer into the shop. I worry about it the next day. So, and so yeah, I think we're on the right track. My eye hurts. I stabbed my eye this morning fighting my dog with the bed sheets. I was kind of sleeping and I let go of the sheet accidentally. It slipped out. Right in my eye. My thumb. Right in my eye. That sucks. It hurts. So, I think with what we've done and the little... I have not driven the car after any of these changes. I still plan on putting on the 50cc accelerator pumps on here and trying that out. Because I thought about changing pump cams, but it's like, why don't we just put the 50cc pump on there and see what happens? So at this point, I know that this carburetor would benefit from a lot more pump shot, so we're going to play with that. And I think it'll be something that this week, during the week, it looks like we're going to have some good weather. I'll play with it. Last week, I didn't really do a whole lot. I was taking it easy. But this week, I think I'm going to really attack it a little bit more, and we're going to have that, we're going to be able to play with it a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole Enron project. Really, things are up in the air about what's going to happen with that. I'm done with it. JJ seems to not be done with it, which I'm not ragging on him, but he's, you know, he really wanted that 11.2. I'm happy with an 11.6, considering the weather, everything. The car has more potential, but the build just doesn't lend itself for that, and that's not what we were doing with it. So it's in his court now. The engine's in the car. I told him, you want to take it out, you do whatever you want at this point. I'm not worried about it. So share, like, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed me fucking around with the fuel system and showing you guys what I did. I'm really happy with it. Everything worked as it should, and it fired right up. So that's done, and next is track time. So we'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass, and I recently got back on Facebook with the page for our YouTube deal, which is Copper's Garage. So if you guys want to follow there, there's a bunch of old stuff on there, and I've been adding older videos as we go. If you guys just joined us, I know we got new subscribers. We got 2 years of back videos from when I first started doing this page, so it's been actually over 2 years. So we got quite the backlog of videos and stuff of everything we've done throughout and here. So let you guys go.